Alrighty, folks, found some time. I'm in the day to kind of start recording some material for this content. Obviously, we're gonna do some React Native builds. Just got my iOS simulator up and running. Maybe I'll do some tutorials on stuff like that. But I recorded a video last night on kind of the direction I want to take the channel. I'm debating on whether putting it out or not because it was a pretty aggressive video, aggressive message. But in short, what we're building, I just put out another thing too on a message to modern dating. Probably by the time you guys see this, it should be out. And basically, it's one of those things where I'm going through a breakup and I'm sick of it. I'm going through another one. So in a nutshell, I've thought about this application for quite some time, for about 2 years now, and I've fleshed it out very mentally, very, very much. And I even applied the logic on how I want an application like this to perform in one of my relationships, and it actually worked really well. So I think I need to build a application around it, and I think this is going to be the application for it. So basically the goal is to build a relational application that embellishes relationships, makes them better. And I don't think it's been something novelly done yet. Maybe I'll have to check for it. Either it's not been done appropriately or it just hasn't been done. But I very much want to make sure. Let's see. Let me open this up with Expo Go real quick while this is loading. Close this out. Let's just rerun start. So this is going to be very much like the series of the Code Chronicles, the very series that built this channel actually on. When I built Team Saker, I just recorded kind of me building a lot of stuff, just totally podcast-esque style. And I'm going to do the same thing, I think, for this application because there's a lot to build from UI, UX. And realistically, I'm also supposed to be at work right now doing work with Sentiment. Sentiment is a beautiful data collection application, so we're going to be building that too. I mean, that one's kind of already built out, and that's a whole team behind that. So that's been really fun. But this is kind of a personal project on the side, I suppose. And it's something that I'm sick of going through breakups. So I'm very inspired to build this. I feel deeply encouraged to build at this point in time. There's enough pain and there's enough understanding of the world that relationships in the modern sense are not working. So using my education and the minor influence I do have, I do feel like I'm the person to build these things because I'm not sure who else will. so I'm gonna try to build it, right? But there's a lot to build. So I don't even know where to build first. Do we start with the UI UX designer? Let's see. Let's get an AI. I know there's UIZerd, which is kind of good. I've used this before, Super Galileo. Let's see, but I don't think it's free anymore. They used to have it as a free deal, so maybe we could just steal some. Let's see, Dribble UI UX, say for native app. Boom. And I wrote down some ideas here too on what it needs to be, at least the 3 core concepts on my phone. So I want to make sure that we're sticking to those. Boom. Okay, cool. And yeah, so it could easily be a very big software, but I don't want it to be a huge software. I really want it to be a simple application. And we're definitely going to need some profile setting things. So maybe we'll kind of hash out the generics today. I think something like this, actually, honestly, we could probably steal very much this concept, this design right here is probably going to be more than adequate, at least for the MVP. And I'm debating whether to do it on blockchain or not. I obviously do want to do it on chain, but being honest, getting clearance with Apple, dropping things off to the App Store, it just makes it way harder when you integrate blockchain stuff. It's all they want to regulate stuff, and rightfully so. There's a lot of scams and stuff going on. So let's just build out the generics today before we get into the nitty gritty of the application. So generics, I just mean kind of all the nav bar stuff, the profile stuff, the sign-in stuff, whether I want to use AWS Cognito, which I did build a native application for, but I wonder if there's an easier build. So Clerk for, let's see, React Native, because I really just want a lightweight MVP at this point. Use Clerk with Expo. Sweet. Okay, let's try to integrate Clerk with Expo then. Clerk is for authentication. So maybe we'll just focus on roughly the profile page today. Something like this, I think, is probably going to be more than enough work for me, to be honest, right now. Could easily spend a couple hours doing this, and I don't have a couple hours, so I really only want it to be about a half-hour episode or such. Let me, let's see. So I'll need my publishing key, which I don't want to dox myself on. app.config.tsx. I don't see it. app.config. Browse an example. Boom. Okay, I don't see it, so then we will build it. app.config. .tsx, boom, we'll paste that in there. See if this will go relatively well. Yeah, guys, it's one of those things where I've seen a lot of relationships break down too, and I know I'm not the only guy going through these type of things. So I figured building an application. So make sure to tell your friends, because this isn't just for software engineers. This is literally for society at this point. That's the goal here, is just to divorce rates, for instance, are 50, 60%. That's just unacceptable to me. So if I could just nerf that down a smidge would be awesome. Right? If 50% of the time you went on a plane and it crashed, you would probably not ride a plane anymore. So I think that's what people are kind of doing. So let me build an environment page too. I'll need to get my Clerk publishable key. I'm going to do this off screen so you guys aren't doxing me. Let me get all this stuff real quick. So basically all I'm going to do here is just sign into Clerk and just get that environmental variable real quick. So I'm not going to show you guys every little step, but I'll show you the Lego bricks of what to do, I suppose. Let's see if this account will work. Expo, there it is. And oh, Expo public key. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't dox me. Great. Okay. I can pop it back up here. And I think I can, well, go from there. Cool. Look at that. I think that'll work. So I just needed to pull in the environmental key from Clerk. And then it looks like I need to wrap my application in a provider. So if I go to the app.tsx, I need to drop in this Clerk provider, which is going to be this guy right here. And then my application needs to be wrapped around that. What is safe area view, by the way? What is that? What is that for the native devs? What is that? What is safe area view? Let's see. I'm going to Google this just real quick. The purpose of safe area view is to render content within the safe area boundaries of the device. Great. Okay. Constants expo publishable. Can I not just use my environmental variable for that? Is that not, do I have to? Sorry guys, just pulling it off screen so I don't dox myself, right? Can I not just do this? Use the publishable key here. Maybe I'll make it a string to see if that'll work. Boom. Okay, and then let me fire up the what's it called, the server or the simulator. So we'll say npm run iOS. Let's get this thing fired up. Let's get this thing fired up, folks. Oh, so maybe we've integrated it successfully. I'm unsure. I don't see very much. Hello world, I don't see it, so I don't know if we did. I think I broke something. Appears to be such. Let me remove this real quick. See if that'll pop up our deal. View, reopen the app. Guys, it's going to be just generic, development that we've seen before on this channel, where it's just me just talking, building, all that fun stuff. This really didn't work. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. But that does. Okay, so the Clerk provider for some reason is causing issues. It's breaking the application. So publish constants, boom, boom, boom. I don't have to use Clerk. We could use, for authentication, I did use AWS Cognito, which has worked perfectly fine. Let's see, app config.tsx. And maybe to some degree, I could do this on the off time too. Because sometimes configuring all these boring things is like not very fun. Like earlier I was wrestling with the iOS simulator, just downloading stuff. It's not very fun to kind of see all that stuff, but you got to do it. It's part of engineering. It's part of the whole process. Boom. Okay, so it is working now. Huh. Let me just double check. I'll just close out of the app. So I guess it worked. Sweet. Okay, so that worked. All right, so it looks like we have our provider wrapped in the application. Let's see how we can use the sign in and sign out. Looks like we can do Clerk sign in, sign out. Let's see. They do just put it in. Yeah, we'll just steal all of this except for that bit. I will swap that back out for this process key. Make it a string, and let's see if we get you are signed out. Is there not going to be a sign in button? You are signed out, you are signed in. Use sign up. Perfect. Look at this. Component sign up screen. Okay, great. Look at that. So they already built it all for us. Awesome. We have a sign in screen. Use sign up screen. You are signed in. You are okay. So let's kind of build out something real quick. I'll build a folder called screens is what I'll call it. I won't do they did components for it, but I'm going to do screens, and then we'll have components separate from that. And I'll say sign up screen. That's perfectly fine with me. Sign up screen TSX. Boom. Oops. Not mean to go to their types. Okay. Indent. Boom. And Let's see. I just want to get it up into here real quick. So we'll just throw it in here, sign up screen, see what we're working with. Nice. Nice. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so it gives us all the stuff here. Obviously, it's pretty ugly. Nothing's dolled up CSS-wise, but functionality is what we're going for kind of initially. Outside of the profile screen, maybe we'll build that today. The profile deal, wherever that dribble thing is, right here. Boom. That would be kind of pretty to get. At least some of the outworkings of it would be awesome. Because I want to build this application kind of quick too. And like I said, it's going to be simple, but it's going to be powerful, like impactful. The three main features that I've wrote down and took notes on my phone are the three things that I deeply think are the most important parts of it. And I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to get that going and that fixed and figured out. We'll just follow their stick here. Styles. Oh, I need to not follow their stick. Forgive me. So when we're signed up, okay. But I definitely just want to build this thing because I think it's going to solve a lot of problems for I don't want to say men because I don't want it to be like a men only application, but I think quality people. But it's definitely a tool geared for men, for sure, because part of it is going to be documenting, relational experiences. So there's legal things that men have ran into when false accusations and things like that within dating world. So hopefully this is a tool to help mitigate some of that. It's very much going to be something to embellish relationships and reward the positive, the good person in the relationship. So there's ideas around that. Meaning, okay, boom. So there's also a sign in and sign up screen. We need both. I'll get this all configured. So those are some of the features, right? Is going to be sweet. We got sign in, sign up. Great. I know it looks ugly, guys, but again, we will get to the CSS. Believe me, I am this CSS god. Oh, we could use Auth as well if you want to add Auth. Boom, boom. We don't. We just want to use clerk. It should be fine. Adding a token to cache. Okay. And then users signing out. Use sign out hook. Let's see. So we just use a sign out hook. Here's Auth is sign out. Boom. That's the line we need for signing out. But we'll kind of cross that bridge. I just want to really sign in, to be honest, at this point, and then start building. But what was I going to say for the feature thing? The feature thing is going to be super important for the application. What is it? What was I just thinking? I was just saying it. Dang it, guys. I was just saying it. So one of the features is going to be, rewarding the loyal partner. That's going to be the biggest thing. We want to ultimately reward, good relationships, number one. So both loyal partners, right? So I don't know if you guys have seen, there's an old show, right? It's Friend or Foe, right? Friend or Foe, the show. And basically how it worked is I forget vaguely what happened, but at the end of the show, they would have a sum of money. Two people won the show together, and how it was kind of a double blind situation. So one person on this side could choose friend or foe, and this person could choose friend or foe, and they both are going for the same amount of money. And how it worked is they could both choose friend, and they would be able to split the money. If one person chose foe and one person chose friend, and they effectively fucked over the person who chose friend, the person who chose foe would get all the money. But the catch is, if they both chose foe, they would both lose the money. So it's kind of playing on human greed. If one person was able to convince the person that they were friendly, but then went foe, they would somehow get rewarded. So it was a very entertaining game show back in the day. But we're gonna roughly use similar logic, except instead of adhering to the foe narrative of the person who chooses foe to fuck over the person who chose friend, we're gonna always reward the people who choose friend. We're gonna always reward the loyal partner. So that's number one, is the loyal person is always gonna be rewarded. And we ultimately want to reward good relationships. So if both people choose friend, we obviously want to reward that. And the person who chooses foe, basically, and we'll have our own lingo for it, but the logic is such that if someone fucks over someone, they're going to be, whether it's monetarily, whether it's, through their accreditation, their score, their quality of, their profile, all that stuff. So that's it in a nutshell, pretty much. And I think it's an interesting application because it's literally something I've implied it, and there's a few other things too that make it more real and tangible that I'm not going to unveil at this point, but I've integrated into previous relationships of mine, or one relationship of mine, and it worked really well. Actually, it was a really good thing that we integrated. So I'm going to try my best to integrate it, but I'm not going to disclose it quite yet. So let's go ahead and try to sign up. So we'll say Ryan Pags, and then we'll say we need an email. Let's try a Yacht mail real quick. We'll say ryanpags@yotmail.com. Let's try this. Password will be ryanpags@yotmail.com. Sign up. Boom. Error. What is this? What is this? What is this? Is unknown. Last name is a valid parameter for this request. Okay. So we need to go to sign up screen. We need to say last name. Where are we? Looks like it's not being validated here. Set last name. Create first and last name. Let's look at the sign up, create params. Okay. But that's going to be roughly, because guys, we live in such a world where everyone's just fucking over everybody. And it's such an ugly thing, to be honest. Partial, any of these will work. Okay. So sign up, create params. Let's try it one more time. I'm not seeing the first name, last name. Oh, there it kind of was. So first name, attribute, boom, here it is. Last name, attributes. Last name seems to be working. Huh, first name, last name, it seems to be in that order. Then the password. Ooh, is that why? No, that wouldn't really make sense, right? Let's try one more time. Sign up. So this is the not so fun part about software engineering. A lot of engineering is just debugging. Let's see. Email code strategy. Ooh. Oh, what I wonder if it's this email, if it's not valid. So Ryan Pags, boom. Sometimes Yotmails actually don't work for this type of stuff. Nope, had nothing to do with that. Okay. Form param unknown. First name is not a valid parameter for this request. Why? Okay, let's try this. Oops. And then if not, I'll debug that in my own time. Yeah. Okay. So I'll debug that in my own time. Let's go ahead and start building for this this profile thing. Let's at least do something pretty on this. Or heck, I could wrap it up there. You know what I mean? Like we made progress on integrating this. I just don't want to be a boring debugging episode. Like that's not really fun. So yeah, actually, let's wrap it up there. We have step 0 of the episode series, and yeah, I guess we'll leave this to the next episode, is to kind of integrate the CSS and start doing some of this layout stuff just within our native application, where we make it look pretty like this. And it looks like we'll need some charting stuff. It looks like we'll need, this is all stuff I'm very confident doing. And CSS wise, I can do it all. Not intimidated at all. The only thing is just something like this where well, I guess we don't have to copy this exactly. Because the biggest thing is I just need to make sure we're hammering down the features that I've wrote on my phone. So yeah, but maybe I do need to think about how I want to do the back end a bit, because that is going to be different on native. I definitely love things like Prisma and Drizzle for web development, because it's just like really, really easy. You kind of get 3 birds in one stone. You get your SQL, you get your relationships, you get your data models, your contracts, all within like one file. So it's really, really effective. I don't know if you can use Prisma for the back end on native applications, if you like run it on a server or something. So I'm not competent in that really. I just used AWS, and then my buddy was actually building the backend on the other native application I was building. So yeah, so we'll have to figure it out. And we used GraphQL, which worked just fantastically. But if there's a lighter weight version, right, I would love to use that, because again, MVP stuff, it's just like I need something quick and able to move fast, and that's why I love Prisma. So let's see if React Native. Currently, Prisma only works on server, so you need to use Node. But point being, I'll have to do some strategizing on that. And then it looks like we do have an initial direction, and it looks like some sign-up integration has been somewhat integrated. I'll need to do some small debugging, so I'll do that. Yeah, and then we'll be off to the races. I'm super excited for this application. I'm highly motivated. There's a lot of pain, as you guys could probably hear, in the energy of where I'm at with things. It's not fun. And I know a lot of people are going through it too. So hopefully it's something good for humanity and society. So I again, definitely need your guys' help to share it, talk with friends. This is going to be probably another 60, 70 episode series, bare minimum, I'm sure. Hopefully less, but it could easily be as long as that. So please share immediately. You know what I mean? Please, be on the lookout for this. If you could help in any way possible, things of this aptitude, liking, subscribing, share the message, telling your friends, spreading the word. I think that's all going to be like really, really effective across time. Just even spreading the word, because it is something that's probably the most powerful thing you can do is, hey, there's this guy, he's trying to build this application to better this problem in society because everybody's being affected by it. And people think they are, even myself. I don't want to be rude about it, but I'm surrounded by women, but no wives. Right? That's the biggest thing. I'm surrounded by women, but no wives. And I know there's women too who are surrounded by men, but no husbands, no good men, no quality material. There's this disconnect in the Western world where we think that these things are acceptable. 50% divorce rates, right? We think that this is acceptable. Let's see. Is this just a myth? All this stuff. And let's see. Boom. They say it's been debunked, but point being is we definitely know there's some relational breakdown happening in America. It's no hidden fact. It's very obvious due to the advent of social media, the accessibility of options, and it's just a shit show. You know what I mean? It just honestly is for everybody, and it's affecting families, the social fabric of society, the baseline thing of society. It's deeply affecting that. It's affecting women. Women themselves are getting very frustrated and upset. So there was a number, the most, what is it? And I think it's something, women at age 30 for the first time in America. Let's see, for the first time in history, actually, are single and unmarried, right? And that's fine. You know what I mean? I understand that there's this idea that that's somehow freeing and liberating, but I myself, I've dated a few women, a lot. Thumbs up. That is a thumbs up thing. But I've dated younger females, 22, 21 years. I'm 29 now. And I've dated as old as 32, 33. I've been across the spectrum, if I will. And I've had old female friends where they're in their 30s, and I'll be honest, they're very depressed women. They're not very happy. They're not fulfilled. They're not super excited. They go home drunk. They go home, drinking wine box subscriptions, and they're ultimately sad, and they're all on SSRIs. And I'm not blaming them, by the way. You know what I mean? It's just a symptom that we have to address and say even the women themselves probably aren't enjoying the fruits of the things that they believed in. And it's not their fault, and it's not men's fault neither. I think it's the system's fault, but men should take responsibility at this point and say, well, let's head in a different direction. Let's head in a direction that's good for bringing people together. And that's kind of what I'm doing here is, I don't want to see, if there's people who are, no, I'm a man, I want to be single till I'm 70 years old, sure, do your thing. If there's a woman like that as well, sure, do your thing. But the saddest thing is when you see a good girl who's 32 years old, all she wanted was a family or kids, still can't get it. Or even I've had exes at 24 years old, 25 years old, 26 years old, similar thing. And I've been that person as well, where all I want is just a family. I don't want 50 girls around me. I don't care for it. I would easily trade that in a heartbeat for one good girl, one quality wife. Wouldn't even think twice about it. And yeah, and I know women are the same way. They can go out to the bars and have 50 options, right? And I'm sure they trade all that option in for a quality husband, for a quality man. So there's some discrepancy happening here, and I want to be the guy who's on the provisionary side of tools, or at least attempting to build a tool that's useful for humanity. And certainly it's a weapon for men too. Initially, it is definitely something that men, I think, are going to benefit from the most. But I think vicariously of that, women are going to benefit as well. Because the idea is to reward good relationships and to disreward and punish bad relations, to punish women playing men, to punish men playing women, and ultimately reward the people who are good. And then if there's also some sort of bits where the good people in the ecosystem are really tied to the ecosystem, and the ecosystem is getting valued, because being honest, I have no problem abusing and using the negative people for the growth of the ecosystem. If the good people are tied to that, that means they're also gaining value as well. So I want to build a system in which the collective as a whole looks at good relationships and rewards it, and positively rewards it, and the collective as a whole benefits from people doing negative things. Meaning the person, the systems in the users in the system who act and behave negatively will end up positively affecting the entire collective. So that's very much the system I'm aiming to build here, is just to correct a lot of these things. I know it's a big ass tall order amongst the other 50 things I'm working on, but this is something that's caused a lot of pain in my life, and And I know I'm not alone on it. So I hope it benefits both men and women, and ultimately healthy relationships and ultimately healthy people. And then even I hope there's educational tools by the end of it to help educate even the people who are quote unquote not performing the well. Maybe they're the ones who are quote unquote messing things up or playing people, and hopefully there's an educational portion of, hey, no, I get it. Been there myself. You know what I mean? You're not the only one. A lot of people have been there too, but here's some educational steps on, one, why you shouldn't do that. Two, here's opportunities to date more quality people, assuming you're taking healthy steps and going in the right direction, and then you're getting rewarded for it. So that's kind of the goal here, is just to reward good behavior across the board and good collectives and good communities across the board, and then to disincentivize people who aren't behaving in alignment for themselves, their partners, and their communities as a whole. So yeah, so it's definitely a tall order, definitely a lot to build. The software is kind of one piece of the puzzle, you know what I mean? But there's marketing, there's now the whole deal. But as you see, we've departed on the journey, and this is episode 1. So I'm looking forward to episode 2. Cannot wait to build more of this. It's something that I deeply, deeply believe in. So I will see you on episode 2. Cheers.